Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and on this video I'm going to give you a review of the Benchmade Torrent 890BK, and let's get to it. So the first thing you're going to see is when you buy the blade, you're going to get this Benchmade box. Make sure the details are right, because Benchmade is a pretty popular brand, so there are fakes out there, so make sure every detail on the box is right. And if you have like a knockoff from made in China and stuff like that, I mean, you're going to miss some detail and the sharpness of the print and the box itself. And within the box, you're going to get, of course, like a user manual. I don't know why you would need that, maybe for a maintenance purpose, but I don't ever use a user manual for a knife. And of course, you get a plastic to hold the knife, and you get the little Benchmade pouch. Okay, it's a nice pouch, but if you buy a pocket knife, why would you use this pouch? I mean, it just adds more to the value, but I don't see myself using a pouch anytime soon. And of course, you get this blue styrofoam on this particular knife. You get a blue box, and the color may vary depending on which knife you get from Benchmade. I believe they have like a black box or a blue box. I don't remember, but yeah, let's get to the knife itself. Okay, so this is the Torrent 890BK Benchmade. It's American made and made in USA. I'm not sure if all the parts and materials are made in the USA, but they say it's made in USA, but some of the parts like screw and stuff could be made from somewhere else. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, it is made in USA. So let's talk some of the features this knife have. Let's go to the bottom of this knife, and you can see we have a glass breaker right here. I mean, it's pretty good for what it does. If you need it for emergency, like in your car, if you won't be able to open the window, you can use this glass breaker to break the glass. Of course, you have this nice stainless steel pocket clips. It's a deep concealment pocket clip. As you can see here, it extrudes beyond the carrying handle, so it's a deep concealment. Although, you know, I would like to see this clip in mattes, because, you know, this stainless steel kind of pops out when you put it in your pocket. You know, it's not so concealment. Okay, so let's get to the blade. This is, of course, and they have a lock mechanism. It's a lock liner with nitrous assist. Basically, it kind of assists you. It's not like auto assist, but it does assist you when you press the knife button. As you can see there, it's very smooth. All you do is just push this little button here up just a little bit, and the knife will deploy. I mean, that is pretty sick. I mean, this is my first like assisted knife that I had, and you know, I'm pretty amazed by this mechanism. I mean, it works well, but if you have this knife in like a sandy condition or use it around like dirt and stuff, that mechanism is gonna kind of seize up a little bit. So to maintenance it, you just put some oil in it, and eventually it'll get smooth again. And of course, back here you have a little chimping just for grip. It's not like a really good chimping, but you know, it's better than nothing. And on the knife, you do not have any chimping on the top here. Of course, you know, if you're good with machinery, you can do a little chimping so that you can hold on to the knife a little bit better. And of course, I believe when you first get this knife, all the screw is Loctite, because it's pretty hard to get it out. So I have to say that you know, they might use Loctite on it. I mean, that is good. If you have a quality knife, I mean, the company should Loctite all the screw, because sometimes you know, heavy use of the knife, the screw can get loose, and then I mean, the whole thing could fall off easily. And let's talk about this blade. It's a 154 cm steel. Is this material is an American-made premium-grade stainless steel developed for tough industrial application, known for its best all-around qualities. It also offers corrosion resistant with good toughness and edge quality. So it retains a lot of good edge quality compared to like stainless steel and some of the other steel. And of course, here you have your the knife designer. Okay, let me zoom in that a little bit. There you go. There's some of the you see some of the label for the knife and the designer of the knife. And this is a drop point knife. Basically, what it is at a certain point, it dropped down to a sharp edge. As you can see here, it started right here, and it dropped down to an edge. And there's all many different kind of drop point, and this is a modified drop point. As you can see right here, they kind of make it skinnier at the top of the edge. And as you can see here, there's not it doesn't get really fat on the top edge. So basically, they just trim it down. I think is for weight, reduce the weight of the knife. Okay, and this knife also have a G10 handle, which consists of some type of stainless steel and plastic. And this type of handle is pretty smooth. It's not as grippy as I like them to be. I mean, a pocket knife should be, as very grippy, but this is not so grippy. And of course, you can modify this if you know how to stifling. Go search that on YouTube or somewhere, how to do stifling on a knife and stuff like that. I mean, you can get a better grip than this. This is pretty slick, I mean, you can, in some situation, you can just, slip up your finger and then cut your finger. And the edge of this knife is pretty darn sharp. I mean, the first day I got this knife, I accidentally cut myself, and cut my fingertips. I mean, that's how sharp it is. Because usually I have I carry cheaper pocket knife, and it isn't that sharp when I close the knife. And when I close this knife, I accidentally left one of my finger, my ring finger, near the closing, and then I closed the knife, and then I accidentally cut the tip of my finger off. So this knife's very, very sharp out of the box. It's more sharper than most cheaper knife, of course, because this is a premium knife. Let's talk about the coating of the knife. This is a BK. Of course, this knife name Torrent 890BK for a reason. The BK mean the coating, the matte finish coating, corrosion protection, and high scratch resistant. But it's just a coating. If you use this for a long time, I mean, it eventually wears off. As you can see here, I kind of wears it off a little bit at the edge. Okay, as you see here, I kind of wears it off a little bit on the edge of the knife, on the top edge of the knife. I mean, it's just a coating. So I'm not too picky about the coating because eventually they all wears off. But premium knife coating. I mean, you can't complain about the coating. Let's see how long the edge is, the blade is. I think it's about 3.6 inches. Yeah, it count from this end to the edge. So 3.6 inches as advertised. And to carry a knife, you need to know your state law. Certain state restrict to a certain length. In Texas, where I live, They restrict pocket knife to 5.5 inches, so I have no problem carrying this knife. And of course, to carry a knife, you need like a carrying license, a handgun carrying license. And let's see how long is the handle. Okay, then close this knife up and we'll measure it that way. So you're looking at 4.6, around 4.6 inches on the handle. I mean, it's pretty nice, you know, very nice feel in the hand. Especially if you have a larger hand, you have a better time gripping this knife than you are to have like a smaller pocket knife. And right now, I'm gonna show you like different sizes of knife that you can carry and how it compares to the other knife. Well, okay, here what I have is a smaller pocket knife. It's a camless. I forgot what model this is, but I've been carrying that for like a year. And here you have a larger knife. It's also a camless, longer blade. I believe it's 4-inch blade compared to 3.6-inch blade on the Benchmade. So here's a smaller pocket knife. Okay, so this doesn't have the assisted spring opening like the Benchmade. Most of the time it require you to physically open the knife with your finger with a thumb screw. Although I say you're not assisted opening knife, but it's not really, you know, true assisted opening knife like Benchmade said. The other knife you have to physically open the thumb screw with your hand. On the Benchmade, all you do is just press it up a little bit and the knife just spring out. So here's the comparison, the length comparison between the two knives. You know, not much bigger than my smaller pocket knife, around just 1.5 inches longer, which is no problem at all. I mean, this knife is pretty small, guys. I think the overall length of this is around maybe 7 inches overall length, and the blade of this knife is around 3 inches. The handle is around 3.8 inches, around 3.8 inches. Okay, so here's a quarter, and here's my little pocket knife that I used to carry, just to show you size comparison. And here's the Benchmade Torrent comparison. So it's not much bigger. I think most guys, you guys won't have a problem carrying this knife at all. And let's compare it to the larger pocket knife. Okay, so this is a camless. I forgot the model, but if you go to you search camless knife, you probably see this. This knife is more for like camping purpose than your everyday carry, because the blade is pretty big, pretty big and heavy, and of course it has a assisted opening button. I think it's better than most assisted button out there. It's not truly assisted opening like the Benchmade, but I like the button also. It's just easy to open. Of course, the blade on this one is heavy because the drop point is not modified like the Benchmade. It's pretty chunky. I mean, look at the size of this blade. And look at the size of the Benchmade. You see the thickness of the blade, the different thickness. So, it's a whole new world with a better quality knife. So, and the weights, of course, varies on depending on the knife you choose to have. And the thing I like about this bigger carrying knife is that it has a black finish on the pocket clip. So I like black finish on pocket clips, you know, more concealable, more blend into your jeans or whatever pants you're wearing. Of course, it's not deep pocket clip like the Benchmade. This is it's not extruding all the way out to the handle like the Benchmade is. And of course, you know, with cheaper knife, most of the time the company, they won't Loctite your screw. So over a period of time, it might get loosened up and get lost and stuff like that. And that's what I hate about cheap knives, you know. With every knife I bought, I usually go and unscrew it and put some Loctite on the screw, make sure it doesn't fall out. Okay, so we're gonna weigh this knife and see how much it weighs. I think they advertise this knife to weigh 3.6 ounces. I don't remember. So let's see how much this weighs in ounce. So mine weighs 3.77 ounce. Okay, 3.77 because, you know, I've been using this for maybe over a year now. So it gets some dirt and stuff on it. So let's see how much my smaller knife weighs. The camelus knife, 3.51 ounce. So it's not much of a difference. And let's see how much the big one weighs. 5.08 ounce. Of course, you know, you have to add some dirt factor to it because it's all this knife's been used for a while. I'm gonna attempt to show you the locking mechanism of this knife. It's basically using a 2-spring. It's not like one of those spiral spring that you usually see. It's like a kind of straight spring. Okay, so here is a spring. Here is a 2-piece spring, and you see like a little roller here, right here, to you know, assist the knife from going in and out. Here's a spring, 2-piece spring. Okay, now I'm gonna attempt to open it and close it. Okay, now pay attention to the spring. Okay, now we'll close it. Okay, it's pretty hard to show you. Okay, you see that spring moving? You see that spring moving? Okay, I need to put my hand out of the way. I don't want to cut myself. There you go. The spring moving. That's the spring action. So basically you just press a button and the spring goes out. And within the mechanism you see some brass component to assist the spring to go out smoothly, to assist the blade to be more smooth. So that's the locking mechanism, and it's patented. So you only get that mechanism on Benchmade knife. So on a philosophy of use, what are you gonna use this knife for? You know, what do you need this knife for? Well, you can use this knife for like everyday stuff. You know, cutting boxes, cutting plastic wrap and stuff like that. You can also use this for camping. You know, clean out fish and stuff like that, because the edge is pretty sharp. You can do that. You might be able to fillet a fish, but I haven't tried that. But I don't doubt it, because the knife is pretty sharp, and also you can use this in an emergency because of the black glass breaker on the bottom of this knife. And for any cutting purpose tool, you're gonna need a knife for, and you'll be surprised, you know, on how many times you need a knife but you don't have a knife. You wish you had one, and this is a perfect knife for you. And of course, the value of this knife, you can get it around $140 to $150, depending on where you find it. I got it for $150, but I mean, it's a premium quality knife. It's not gonna break on you anytime soon, but I wouldn't rely my whole life on it. It's just something I would like to carry, mid to high-end carry. The scale of 1 to 10, what I would give this knife is around 8.5 or maybe even a 9, because I don't own that many high-end carrying knife. This, in fact, this is the only one. So the thing that I didn't give it a perfect score is because the grip. I'd like to see more of a more grippy type of grip, and also I like to see more jimping on the knife, so that it's easier to hold. It doesn't slip off, and you don't have any carrying finger stop or hand stop, so that you don't accidentally slide off your finger and cut your finger. So those are some of the cons I don't like about this knife, but overall it's a pretty good carrying knife and everyday use. If I would to buy it again, I would buy it in a heartbeat. And if you want a custom-made knife, you're going to pay a little bit more for that. And Benchmade, known for custom-made knife. I mean, some of the knives can go up to thousands of dollars, especially the collector edition one. It's pretty price high up there, but overall this knife is nice for just about everyone. I mean, the small size knife is not much bigger from this, so why not go from that to this? And I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like if you like this video, subscribe, share the video, comments on it. I appreciate all your comments, and I hope you like this video again. Thanks for watching, and take care.